3. All new this morning, for the first time in 6 years, 2 men are in custody for the 2019 death of Fort Hood soldier Gregory Wedel-Morales. Killeen police say 27-year-old Darion Brown and 28-year-old Darius Nobles have been charged with murder. 6 News obtained the mugshot of Brown, the man pictured here. We're still working to get Nobles' booking photo. 6 News reporter Sydney Walker sat down with the lead investigator and the soldier's mother and shares how we got here.
Over 6 years after a Fort Hood soldier vanished, 2 men are behind bars.
I had a lot of faith in this case from the very beginning. I was expecting for us to get to this at some point. I just didn't know when.
Detective Jonathan Mueller led the case for Killeen PD.
Multiple search warrants, going through phone logs, phone records, people that he contacted. It's just endless interviews.
Working alongside multiple agencies, including Fort Hood CID and Texas DPS.
Obviously, nothing's fresh. So 48 hours is a real thing. Just keep going, keep looking at all the leads and just follow it.
Months of work just to get the evidence.
I believe we had our suspects probably within the first 2 months of his remains being located. At that point, it was just actually proving that they did do it.
And to bring peace to a grieving mother.
As a mom, every time somebody else that Greg grew up with hits a milestone, I think Greg should have had that.
Kim Wedel never thought this day would come.
I really thought nobody was listening to me.
She's been on a roller coaster of emotions for almost 7 years.
I felt I should have done something better or more to protect him, as he ended up dead in a field from a gunshot wound to his head.
And finally, a note from KPD in December.
I didn't get a lot of information. I didn't get names, of course, or anything.
An arrest.
I've gotten a bunch of messages from all Greg's friends down there, and they're like, they don't have a clue who these 2 people are.
Made in part with the help from a suspect.
One of the suspects did share a lot of information. It's not often that you have someone who's involved in a murder show remorse for his actions.
Mueller and his team are celebrating today, but not for them.
Family closure is the biggest thing for us.
Even though the loss will never be made right.
It's just a lot. Every day you wake up and it's another day without him.
It's one step closer to an answer.
I just kind of need to know why these 2 guys decided Greg's life wasn't worth living.
Both Nobles and Brown still must be indicted by a grand jury before this case moves to a trial. Detective Mueller says the investigation remains active and additional suspects have not been ruled out.
Yeah, that's right. And 6 News has been following this case from the very beginning. So let's take a look at a recap of our coverage since the news broke in 2019. It's a story we've been following for 7 years.
A tip led Fort Hood CID here to this field where they found the skeletal remains.
Whatever has happened today over here was something pretty big. Somebody that had to be very important.
He was last seen alive 11 months ago, and that's also when the Army classified him as a deserter.
The mother of Gregory Morales, Kim Wedel, said that was the body of her son that went missing off of Fort Hood.
Cannot imagine how hard it is to not know where your child is.
So we are following the updates to this case very closely, and we will bring you the latest information right here on KCEN.